a chatty tutorial pretty much on how to be glowy AF. As you can see, I've got insane amounts of highlight on right now, insane amounts of bronzer, gloss, highlight my collarbones and stuff, and I'm just going crazy on the highlight today. But that's the whole point of the tutorial, because I wanted to do something really intense and just OTT and just highlighted and summery and just gorgeous. Yeah, if you're into just looking really glowy, dewy, OTT quite a bit, because I do have a shitload of highlight on right now. But, like, it's summertime, so sometimes you can just get away with doing stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and I love you guys. So I just went ahead and applied my moisturiser. At the moment, I've been using this one here. It's from Ofra Cosmetics. It's the Chatty and Ofra Wanerlush moisturiser. I've been using this a good wee bit now, and I just love it because it's fragrance free and it says it's friendly for all skin types. And the reason why I like it is that it's a really thin moisturiser, but it just adds so much like hydration and just amazingness to your skin, and I just love the way it makes my skin feel. And it's also like a really good base for your makeup too, so I've been loving this. So for any sort of like glowy, like dewy look that I always do, I always use this Charlotte Tillbury Supermodel Body Shimmer, Slimmer, Shimmer, Shape, Hydrate and Glow. And this is actually meant to be like for your legs and stuff, to give your legs like a slimmer illusion, obviously with the shimmer and stuff. And it has like a little like roly thing on it. What I do is I literally just use this as a primer. It's pretty much just like a really shimmery cream, and I just love it using it as a base. And you can obviously use it in your body as well, like I mentioned. So whenever I do like a really dewy and golden glowy look, I always use like a sort of like thin full coverage foundation, and thin being like a water sort of based foundation, because I feel like water based foundations are a lot more dewy and they feel a little bit more light on the skin, but then they also provide like good coverage. And one that I love is just this Makeup Forever HD. This is actually the Ultra HD in W3, or no, take that back, in Y385. And as you can see, I am quite tan at the moment, so I am going to use this one just because it is a little bit darker. And I'm just going to take it on this little random brush that I have. It's just like a little angled brush, so I'm just going to blend this under my skin. I've also been loving using like less dense brushes recently, because normally I would use brushes like this that are quite like fat and just really dense, whereas this one isn't as bad. And I feel like brushes like this just give your skin a little bit more of a more natural finish, just because it isn't packing the product on really intense, and it also kind of just blends it a little bit better too. I've been using this brush, and I actually got this out of where did I get this? Oh yeah, I actually got this in Savers, and it's kind of like a little, it's like a shop that does like shampoo and like shower gel, perfumes and all stuff like that, and just like beauty products and just random stuff. And this was only like a couple of pounds, and it's really really good, so I would definitely recommend getting your hands on it. So next I'm going to apply my concealer, and I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape. I love this concealer just because it provides really full coverage, and you don't need that much of it, but I just love the big massive applicator. It kind of did take me a while to really like this concealer, just because I loved my Urban Decay Naked Skin, but I really do love this one too. And mine is in the shade Light Neutral, if anyone is wondering. And I'm just going to take my little brush just to blend that out again. So again, whenever I want to look really dewy and golden and just really like bronze and stuff, I use this. And this is kind of like a base for my actual powder bronzer, so it's kind of like cream bronzer. It's the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in the shade Deep. And I just have this in a darker shade just because I like to kind of bronze up my skin with cream products first. So I literally just apply some of this around the temples of my head, down my cheek, and then just a little bit on my jawline too. And I feel like just by doing this, it gives you like that natural look, just because it is a cream product, it is going to settle into your skin a little bit better, more than what powder would. So I'm just going to take my little brush again, and then just start by pressing this into my skin. And as you can see, it just blends absolutely amazingly, and that's why I love using this concealer. Actually just going to apply a little bit more just around my temples here. So to set underneath my eyes, I'm going to take my Kat Von D translucent powder and this brush from Morphe that actually broke, but I'm using this just to set under my eyes. And because obviously I want this look to look really radiant, I'm not going to apply powder like everywhere over my skin, because I want to still keep my skin nice and dewy, because I don't want to obviously really powder it up and really mattify it. So I kind of just apply the powder on the areas where I highlighted, just to make sure they're set in place and that it's not going to like budge all day. So now that I have my foundation, my cream contour powder and my concealer and stuff done, I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. I'm going to be taking the Makeup Revolution Brow Pomade. I was actually talking about this on my Snapchat the other day, and it's literally a dupe for the Anastasia one. I love it so much, and I actually really like the colour of it. It's not too warm and it's not too ashy either. So whenever I do like a really dewy and glowy makeup look, I always do something quite simple on my eyes. So what I'm going to do is actually take my bronzer and use this as like my transition and base colour. This is the Toofaced Dark Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is like one of my favourites, just because I love being really tan and stuff, and I just love this bronzer to pieces. I actually have two of them, and I have pan on both of them, because I love them that much. So what I'm going to do is just pretty much run this through my crease. Whenever I do makeup looks, I always have to have something through my crease. If that's like a brown or like a kind of like orangey transition colour, I have to have something, at least something on my eyes. And I'm actually going to take some of this and apply it underneath my eye too. I feel like I haven't done like a sit down chatty tutorial in like forever, because sometimes I just love sitting down and just doing like my makeup casually, because this is like how I would normally do my makeup, just like sitting on my bed or like down in my living room or something, just like chill and do my makeup. And I feel like videos like this are a little bit more relatable and just a little easier to watch as well, because they are more just like casual and sit down. So what I'm going to do now is take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette and take this shade here called Real Gar. It's like an orangey colour, and just sort of like buff this in just in the outer corner area. Guys, today I had such a disaster. Me and my mum we actually went over to Sally's to get like this certain shampoo up in Abbey Centre, and they didn't have it in stock, so then we rang the other Sally's that we know of in Boucher Road. So if anybody's from Belfast will know what I'm talking about right now, but there's a Sally's in Abbey Centre, they didn't have it, so then we went to the Boucher Road one, and the traffic was so bad. Literally people were just being so silly today for some reason. Like there was people just jumping out in the road, like stepping out in front of the car, so I was constantly having to slam my brakes on. The traffic was really bad, the lights were taking ages to change. I was like, right, oh my god. And we were actually in a rush as well, because my brother was getting out of school and like no one was about to collect him, so we were like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? So then we finally ended up getting the shampoo over in the Boucher Road Sally. So then we were heading back home, and on the way home coming through like Belfast city centre, and this is also like in the middle of the town at like 3 and 4 o'clock, so it was quite like a busy time period literally, and it was also lashing with rain too, so we were trying to go in and out of shops whenever it was pissing with rain. So like you were in and out of the car soaking wet, in and out, and I was actually wearing like Adidas slides, so my feet were soaking, and I was starting to get in a really shitty mood. I was starting to get really pissed off, and then literally going through Belfast city centre, all we felt was a big bang in the back of my car, and I was like, can this day literally get any worse? And I was like, holy crap, someone's just banged into the back of me here. Because obviously the roads were wet, so obviously your tires like slide a little bit, so obviously you should keep like your stopping distance well away from the car in front. But obviously the car behind me didn't know what stopping distance was, and obviously just ran right into the back of me. And I just got out of the car, like me and my mum are completely fine, like we are okay. But we got out of the car, obviously exchanged details, but thankfully there's no damage or nothing done to my car, so that's all good. Like we're not going to be doing anything about it, but I mean like it could have ended up an absolute disaster. And thankfully enough, as this happened, there was a police car, well an unmarked police car, drove through the town and like seen obviously this had happened, and then he stopped and got like details and stuff just to make sure everyone was okay. Oh my gosh, it was an absolute disaster, like, but we finally got ourselves sorted. And I know obviously that's not like, we finally got ourselves sorted, but I mean it could have ended up an absolute disaster. But I mean like today it was just, traffic was crazy, we were stressed out, the weather was terrible, and people were just driving like absolute maniacs on the road today. Yeah, thank god that guy's okay, we're okay, my car's okay, his car's okay, so thank the Lord for that. Pretty much what I did was apply that colour Real Gar just underneath my lower lash line and also in the outer corners of my eye here. So what I'm going to do now is take the shade Primavera or something, that one here, and just apply this on my actual lid. It's kind of just like a pale gold colour. Yeah, that's pretty much what my day consisted of. So I thought like, right, I need to get home and just chill out for a while. So I cleaned all my makeup brushes, and then I was like, right, I really want to film a video, so I'm filming a video now, and I'm so happy just to be chilling out. Now that I have that done, what I like to do is take my concealer and do like a little dot of it in the inner corner of my eyes just to really brighten up that area. And then I'm just taking this little brush from Morphe just to blend it out. I love this brush. This one from the Elite collection is the E13. And then what I'm going to do is take this shade here called Tempera, also from that palette, and just apply that right in my inner corner area. And as you can see, by applying like a brighter colour in the inner corner, it just really sort of brightens it up and just pulls the whole look together. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do for my eyes. I told you guys I would do something quite simple and just easy to do, and now what I'm going to do is apply some lashes. These are just my lashes, these Sassy lashes in the style Fairy Flutter. These are just basic packaging. Whenever you guys get them, they come in like a nice little box and stuff, but these are just like default standard packaging, so that's why they look like this. But yeah, I will always have my link and stuff if you want to purchase them and stuff down below in the description box. So while I'm waiting on my lash glue just to dry and get tacky on my lashes, I'm going to go ahead and contour. I've been using the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten foundation in the shade Tan. It's just a powder foundation, but it doesn't have like shitload of coverage, so that's why I just like it. It's like a normal like contour shade, but it's completely matte, and I just apply it like right along here, and it's a really nice shade. It literally just gives like a nice little shadow to your skin, and as you can see, like you can barely see it, but it just does give like a nice little shadow and a little bit more colour to your skin. And then for my bronzer at the moment, again, I've been loving my Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil. I just love having really bronze skin, and I've been getting like a lot of questions on my Snapchat and stuff asking like what bronzer I use, and I use this one, and this is like the only bronzer that I've ever found is actually dark enough and does exactly what I want. I love my what do you call it, it's the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in 351. It's the darker shade. That one is also really good, but I've actually just been loving this one and it blends amazingly too. But I just love how it gives my skin like a nice bronzy glow and I just love it to pieces. I'm also going to take some on this big massive Morphe brush. It's the R010, I think. It's kind of rubbed off. I'm just going to put some on my neck and chest. The main focus of this look obviously is to look really bronze and glowy and dewy and just highlighted. And what I've been doing recently is I've been taking my Cover FX custom cover drops in the shade Sunlight, and you literally only need the tiniest bit of these, and I mean like the tiniest bit. So what I do is I place some on the back of my hand like this, and then I just take like a little fluffy brush and literally take the tiniest bit onto my brush and sort of like remove most of the product because you don't want to go in too much. And then I just kind of swirl this along where I would put my powder highlight. So because obviously we've applied powder, normally I wouldn't go in with a cream product after, but this is really thin and it's sort of like oily, so it doesn't really disrupt any of your powder. So it doesn't really matter how much powder you apply to your skin, because sometimes I would like powders would go a little bit weird if you apply like cream products on top, but this literally doesn't, and it looks amazing. So I use this as like a cream base for my actual powder highlight, and I feel like it just makes my powder highlight stand out a lot more. So as you can see here, it gives a gorgeous glow. I'm also going to apply some on the tip of my nose, and then I also like to apply some above my brow too. Okay guys, so the main star of the show today is this highlighting palette. It's from Primark, it's a $5, and it's literally so amazing. I have been using this non-stop, especially these two shades here. Whenever I first got it, I thought these two shades would be a little bit too dark for my skin tone. Whenever I first applied them, I was like, holy crap, this palette is gorgeous. Even this one here in particular is also really nice, but it's pure white, so I feel like it would be a little bit too pale for my skin, but obviously for your lighter skin girls it would look perfect. This one is like a little kind of pinky blush, but these two are like the main star of the show, and for a $5, like that is absolutely phenomenal. So literally what I do is I dip my brush in both shades and I completely saturate my brush in highlight product, because this is a glowy and dewy look, so I do want to go OTT on this. And I literally just press this down on top of where I applied the Cover FX drops, and look at that. Guys, look at the glow of that. Absolutely insane. And Primark have really upped their game recently on their beauty product. They've come out with a couple of palettes too, which are quite similar to the Naked palette. If you guys want me to do like a Primark beauty video, let me know, because Primark's beauty products have really like astounded me recently. Especially this palette has literally wowed me, and like it's absolutely amazing, because I never think I would ever find something as good as like the Anastasia palettes or my Ofra highlighter and stuff. But I mean, this palette is insane, and for being from Primark and only being a $5, like it's amazing. So literally what I'm going to do now is apply my lip liner. I have this one here from Inglot. It's the 63 Soft Precision Liner. I'm just going to line my lip. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to use an old favourite. It's MAC Velvet Teddy. And then what I'm going to do is apply some gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee, which is like a pale nude. So now what I'm going to do is highlight the shit out of my chest pretty much. So I'm going to take that there Cover FX highlighting liquid stuff again, and put some on my collarbones. Whenever I do really glowy face, I need to do like a glowy chest, or else it doesn't look like in proportion. And I'm going to take my highlighter again. I'm going to use the Primark one. I'm going to actually take the darker one this time, and then I'm also going to take some and put some on the tops of my shoulders. Like, I'm so extra right now. So guys, this is pretty much the final makeup look. Obviously, if you hate highlighter and hate looking like really dewy and bronze, you're probably going to hate this makeup look, but I just think sometimes you just need to be really extra with your highlight and just go completely mad. And personally, I love doing stuff like this, just having glossy lips, like bronze skin, nice highlight, just really OTT. Personally, I just love that. That's my favourite. But yeah, I will have all the products and stuff listed down below in the description box. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. If I can reach.